Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome back to this week's episode of the Gamestate podcast. Unfortunately, Madam Rick couldn't be with us, but I'm here today, Chickeneck, your host, with our fellow hosts, Grease Monkey Gamer and Tuneablepower. And we've got some stuff to talk about. We have the Tokyo Game Show. Tunable found some retro games. Xbox leaked some stuff. There's a lot of stuff going on in the gaming world right now. But we're going to start you off with On This Day in Gaming. So, September 26th. Here's what happened on the 26th of September throughout history. On this day in 1996, it was the release of Mario 64 for the N64, the very first 3D Mario game.
So that means the N64 came out this day too.
Yep, it would be.
Huh?
Yeah.
Mario 64 was the launch title.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Let's fucking go. Well, what can you say?
In 2001, Capcom released Final Fight for the Game Boy Advance. If you remember Final Fight from like the Super Nintendo days.
I do remember the game, and I like those games.
Yeah,
Kind of.
it was like,
mediocre, but
one of those beat 'em up style games, kind of like Ninja Turtles.
I never played the Game Boy Advance version.
No, but it's kind of cool to get a game like that on a handheld system.
Yeah,
Might have to look for it.
Yeah, definitely worth playing handheld. I wonder how it would run on a Game Boy Advance or what it would look like, but you know.
I don't know. I'll find a copy and we'll see.
The Game Boy Advance was pretty.
It was 32-bit.
Yeah, it wasn't.
Yeah, it was 32-bit, same as the PlayStation 1 and Saturn and stuff. So,
all right,
had some good stuff.
In 2003, EA released Medal of Honor Allied Assault. That was the third Medal of Honor game. It was the first one to come out for PC.
Never played it.
I can't say I played it.
I love the Medal of Honor games, but I played them all on like the PlayStation 1.
Cool.
Yeah.
I played one on the GameCube. I can't remember which one it was once, but
yeah, I'd love to see the Medal of Honor series come back, but I don't think it's going to. 2007, Halo 3 was released over in Europe, and with the release in Europe, it became the best-selling game of 2007.
Way to go, Europe! Congratulations.
I think releasing it in Europe is what really pushed it over the edge that year and got them the sales that they needed to make it the best-selling game of the year.
To top it out, yeah.
Then also in 2007, Nintendo announced that they had sold over 50 million units of the Nintendo DS since its release in November of 2004, and that made it the fastest-selling handheld system in gaming history at that time.
Which it would go on if Nintendo would have just literally just kept it going for 6 more months. Would have beat PS2 in sales.
Yeah,
it's literally like what 100,000 below it or something like that.
Yeah, it's really close.
Yeah. I'm like, why didn't you just beat it?
They could have.
They wanted to bring out the 3DS.
I think they were happy with just having the highest selling handheld. They didn't really care about PlayStation, I guess.
I mean, honestly, when you think of handheld, Nintendo's the first one you think of.
And
Nintendo has been top-notch handheld gaming from day one.
Sega tried to get into that market, but they didn't even come close. They didn't touch it.
Speaking of that one.
But all right, guys, that's it for this day in gaming. A lot of cool shit happened on September 26th throughout the years. But we're going to get on to Tune's Retro Finds of the Week. What do you got for us this week, Tune?
All right, well, speaking of handhelds, this was the last one I needed to complete my collection of all of handhelds in history. We've got every one, and this was the only one I needed, and I couldn't find it for some reason at a price that I wanted to get one, but I finally found one. And speaking of Sega's handhelds, we found the Game Gear.
Oh, nice!
Right here,
the battery,
and it's the I can't remember the exact name what they call this version of Game Gear. It's a later one that has better parts inside of it, that capacitors that don't blow out like the original.
Yeah.
But the difference is between the original and this one's black as night. The other ones were gray. These colors right here, it had a red, green, and blue ovals. This one has straight silver. This one has a blue button instead of a purple button.
All I remember having a Game Gear back in the day, and when my mom and dad would make me go to bed, like because I had school in the morning, pull the covers over my head, and that thing backlit, so I could just sit there under the covers, turn the sound down, and I'd be sitting there playing like Troy Aikman football.
Yeah, the battery life on these things though, 6 AA's, 4 hours maximum.
Atrocious.
4 hours
That is
maximum.
horrible.
It came with some
Even less
games.
even less if you maxed out the volume too.
Okay. It came with some games that were with it. We got Power Rangers the movie.
Always a
We
good
have
one.
a pinball game.
That was a great game.
Pinball. Sonic the Hedgehog 2, which is amazing for this thing.
Oh, the Game
This
Gear
is a
Sonic 2 is really good.
great Sonic game right here.
That Power Rangers the movie game, that was kind of like the Ninja Turtle beat 'em ups, wasn't it?
Yeah, but you play with the
Yeah.
Zords and stuff. You fight with Zords one mission, and one mission you fight as a Power Ranger. It's a good game. I played it earlier. It's pretty good.
I think
And-
there was a version of that on like the regular Genesis too, wasn't there?
Yeah.
Just regular Power Rangers, where you would start off the level as just one of the Rangers, and then you could actually do the morphing, and you. But I think you only had like a certain amount of time that you could be morphed, so you kind of wanted to wait
Yeah.
longer. When you
Mhm.
morphed, it brought your health back up, so you wanted to go as far as possible without morphing.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I don't know if that one's like that. That one right there was like I played it like 2 missions of it, and it was like I played as a ranger for one mission, and the next mission we were you. It's like the movie, like the game, the show. You beat the boss Little as
Yeah.
a ranger, and then they blew him up, and then you fought him as a Zord
Yeah.
again. That's how that one is.
Yeah.
The one
That's
I
how it
Especially
was,
this
was on
fighting game.
the one
It's
I-
almost a fighting game.
the
That's
one
what
I'm
it is.
most fond of was on the Super Nintendo, and it was kind of like a 2D platformer almost beat 'em up.
Oh,
Yeah.
dude. Yeah, I beat it on stream not too long
Yeah,
ago.
yeah, I
The game's
remember.
goddamn amazing. I
that-
love that game.
That's a great game.
And we got the Majors Pro Baseball.
Nice.
It's garbage. All right, so there's a game. And plus, it also came with the AC adapter and the magnifier that cooks to the front of it, so it makes the screen bigger. The magnifying glass.
Nice.
Heck
Alright.
of a steal.
Yep. All right, some more games we got Sonic Unleashed for the PS2,
Trash game.
disc only,
Oh, nice.
but it was cheap. It was like $1. Brandy found it for me. It's a good game. You turn as a werewolf in it and shit. It's not my favorite Sonic game, but it's like mid-pack for me. It's not the worst, not the best.
It's Sonic.
Yeah, I mean the werehog levels were clunky,
Yeah, they're weird.
but the Sonic levels are great.
Yeah, the Sonic
Daytime-
levels were great. They
Daytime
just
ones,
should
they were great. It was just the
Should've stuck
nighttime
with
version
that.
of the werehog is something about it.
yeah, definitely. Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance for PS2, disc
Ooh,
only.
That's a good one.
That's a good one.
It is a good one. I'm gonna play this probably here soon again. I want to, if I ever can get off Mortal Kombat 1, it's goddamn good.
The new stuff. goes up
Um,
to you.
A heavy hitter. This one's a heavy hitter. Castlevania Symphony of the Night.
An absolute
I've-
legendary game.
Mhm.
Tunable's top 5 games of all time list right here.
That's in my top 5.
This game is a masterpiece. If you've not played it, you can probably still buy it right now on the Xbox or PlayStation or Nintendo.
Yeah, it's only like
Just
$15-$20 on PS4, I think.
just go buy it. I mean, if you haven't played this, Jesus.
Yeah, you can get it digitally pretty cheap on consoles right now.
Found this complete in box Super Nintendo bowling game that me and my dad and brothers played all the time back in the day.
Oh, nice.
The box is like brand new too. It's crazy.
Oh.
The thing looks like this came off the store shelf. Only paid $15 for this, some dude.
Damn.
It's pretty good. We got so much stuff because it's been a couple weeks, guys. We found RoboCop for the NES.
That game,
It's a pile of shit. It's a
that,
pile
that
of shit.
game is ridiculous.
I'm pretty
It's
sure that game is
ridiculous.
literally unbeatable. And one of levels, you just cannot beat it at all.
It's
Physically impossible without cheats.
so like when I get these games, I plug the systems in and test every one of them after I get them. And I tried to play one mission just for the first mission in RoboCop, and I wanted to snap the cartridge in half. But
it goes on the shelf with the rest of them.
it goes on the shelf to never be played again. That's where it's going.
It's there just to look pretty.
Yeah. But we found a game that was awesome, dude. I loved this game when I was younger. And it's kind of like it's like the first edition horror game. First gen horror experience. And that's Maniac Mansion. This is a scary game. For its time back then, it was scary. Now, I played it a little while ago. I mean, yeah, I'm just laughing my ass off at it because it's not scary to work. It's an NES game.
Super campy.
I don't even remember
But
that one. I don't think I've ever
It's a
played that.
It's a point and click game. So basically, you just you control a character and you got to point and click on everything that's in that area, and there might be a jump scare that pops out at you, and you're just trying to figure out the puzzle and all that. But it did come with the manual. Came with the manual, the registration card, and this poster.
Ooh.
This crazy poster that has like all of like the mansion's people's little letters on it and stuff.
Dave
Wow.
Miller
It's-
for class president.
It's pretty cool.
That's
Pretty
dope.
cool.
Kind
I just need to get a box for it. I just need to get a box. A box probably cost me like $1,000. Like, I just need a box, $1,000.
Jeez.
That's how it is nowadays. So it is. And save the best for last.
Oh.
Probably not many people even know what this thing is. Unless I mean, people that played Smash Brothers know what it is because they've probably played as him, and they probably wondered what the hell this character's from a Nintendo universe.
Game and Watch.
Guys,
Oh,
this is
no.
him.
Oh, I know.
Be the robot.
This is the original Rob the Robot and
That's
all his
awesome.
little chords. So you play Gyromate, and he scans what's on the screen. So if you need a puzzle done, what he does is a controller goes here, and he'll pick up a disc and put it here, and it starts spinning, and he'll put it down right here, and he just goes up and down with it to open doors and stuff for you as you. He put controller 2 here, and you're playing as controller 1, and he helps you get through puzzles, open doors for you, and all that stuff as he reads what's on the screen.
That's some pretty dope technology for like back then.
Back
In
then,
the 80s.
yeah.
This is 80s, man. It's
yeah, I know.
and we
like,
got
that's
everything.
crazy.
We got both spinner, we got the spinner machine, we got both disc and the button thing. I've been waiting a long time to get another one of these because I had one when I was a kid, and I don't know what happened to it.
That's
And
fucking
we
sick.
finally got me another one. It's pretty cool.
Have you tested it out yet? Does it work?
Yes, me and Cliff played it for like 2 hours a day.
No shit.
We were sitting there at his shop. You got to have a CRT TV to play him.
Oh,
So he has like CRTs at his shop. And
Nice.
dude, we were just sitting there playing. Dude, we were having a fucking blast. He's sitting there spinning the thing. He's picking it up, dropping the spinner. It just sits there and spins on that thing. He'll go over here, press this, pick that spinner back up, throw it back on the spinning machine, all kinds of shit. As I'm doing, like, I'm sitting here going through like walls and shit because he's opening doors for me. It was crazy as
that's
shit.
awesome.
That's cool.
But I think that's it.
All right.
That's it, guys.
That was
Hope you enjoyed that.
that was Tune's retro finds of the week. Well, we should say for the last couple weeks. Well, we
Weeks.
didn't do a podcast last week. We took a week off. But we're back now, and this week we had the Tokyo Game Show. A lot of big titles announced at the Tokyo Game Show. We're not going to get through all of them. We're going to talk about a select few. First one, Party Animals featuring Ori. Have any of you guys played Party Animals yet?
I have not. I downloaded it, but I haven't played it yet.
I've been meaning to get Party Animals. It looks hellaciously fun if you got a group of friends.
Yeah, it looks a lot like Fall Guys, but it's not.
I'd say it looks closer to Gang Beasts.
Yeah, Gang Beasts. Yeah. I mean, like the character models and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, character model. So it's almost like Fall Guys meets Gang Beasts because
Yeah.
I mean, the Gang Beasts it has the same like control, like character control, where it's definitely wobbly. But then you have like the animals, so it's kind of more furry, less just basic humanoid shape.
Yeah, they're also having a crossover with Ori from Ori and the Blind Forest.
A great game.
Ori's going to
Very
be featured in Party Animals. It's going to be a playable character. That's pretty cool.
I'll give you my review on it next week's podcast. I'll play it this week and let you know how it is.
Pretty sure it's on Game Pass. I could download it and play it with you probably.
Yeah, we should do it.
Or
yeah.
there's cross playability.
Also, guys, keep your eyes peeled. Me and Tuneable are going to be doing a co-op playthrough of A Way Out here soon. It'll be up on both of our YouTube channels. Keep your eyes peeled for that. Also, we had a new trailer for Power World. And for any of you that don't know what Power World is, just think Pokemon with guns. And like, if you ever just wanted to go out and kill Pokemon instead of catch them, this is for you. You see a Charizard, just pull out your shotgun and shoot it. Like, I don't know, I don't really understand the whole premise of the game, but that, from what I've seen, that's what it looks like to me. Instead of going out and catching these monsters, you're going out and destroying them.
We've talked about this before. I have no idea how Nintendo hasn't thrown a cease and desist on this shit yet.
I mean, PlayStation literally copied Splatoon.
Yeah, I've seen that. God dang.
Like, I forget what it's called. It's like, what is it, like Fluff something or
Yeah,
something?
it's fluff something. It's like foam instead of fucking paint.
Yeah.
It's the same game. Man.
It's literally Splatoon, but they're just using foam and different characters.
Oh my god! I did when I saw that. I just face palmed. I was like, whatever. Do you?
Yeah, that's kind of crazy. I mean, like, me and you can both make a chair. They could be different chairs, but they're both still chairs.
I guess the biggest thing with Power World is that it's multiplayer and open world.
All right. All right. We have a new addition to Dragon Quest. Adventure of Dai was announced. We got a little trailer, and I like the art style. I love that Akira Toriyama is behind the art direction for these Dragon Quest games. I've always loved his art style.
Yeah, he's been the art director from the beginning.
Yeah,
right from the very first. And then the funny thing is that the Adventures of Dai originally was a manga written by Akira Toriyama based off of the Dragon Quest games. So what's really fun is that now we've kind of gotten full circle because now they've made a game based off of a manga that was based off of the original game.
Yeah, it's kind of cool, and it looked really good. The combat looked good.
It looks really good.
Everything looks smooth. Even like traversing the world, it looked nice.
It's got like the higher end shell shading.
Yeah.
For the 3D models too. Like they've really dialed that in, I feel like.
Yeah, they gave it that real like I don't know, like animated feel. Like,
oh yeah, 100%. It feels like you're watching an anime, but it has that 3 dimension to it, which is really cool. It helps draw you in.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to that one. I wouldn't be surprised if we see that one on Game Pass.
Oh yeah.
But we also got some DLC for a certain Ninja Turtle game. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: Shredder's Revenge.
And our very own Grease Monkey has played it.
I have. I got to tell you guys, lots of fun. Lots of fun. Not only do you get 2 new full-on playable characters, but Usagi Yojimbo, who's the Samurai Rabbit, and Karai, who was depending on the iteration of the turtles, is either Master Splinter's daughter or Shredder's daughter.
Yeah.
Film in this one, it looks like she's actually Shredder's daughter, Foot Clan member. Both characters are very fun, very well balanced, and the main part of the DLC is the survival mode. And the survival mode gives you a roguelike experience to the game.
Yeah.
Where you're completing stages, you're not traversing side like throughout a stage like side scrolling how you normally do in the story or the arcade version of it. It's a static stage, but you have waves of the enemies that you fight, and you are trying to collect shards of the gems. And there's 7 different gems, and as you go through and you collect enough of the shards to give you a gem, it ups the difficulty of the survival mode. And as you complete each wave, you have a choice of 2 different options, either like collecting extra shards or getting a boost or a modifier to the subsequent waves.
Yeah.
That's where you also have the ability to play as 3 special characters, being Shredder, Bebop, and Rocksteady.
Mhm.
And the cool thing with those
I imagine
characters,
Bebop and Rocksteady was fun to play as.
Yeah,
they are
dude.
fun, but they don't really have a aerial attack.
Yeah, they're more grounded.
They're more. I mean, you can jump and attack, but it's literally the same punch or kick as if they're on the ground. Shredder actually has some aerial moves. The drawback for Shredder though is that his special ability is a counter. You activate it, and so you have to anticipate getting hit. You
Mhm.
activate it, and then you basically counterattack against them, and it's a large AOE, but you have to get the timing right to have it go off.
Yeah,
The best part with those special characters is that you can play them until you lose enough health, until basically they run out of health, and then you switch back to your normal character. So each hit that you get from one of those special characters does not take away from your own health. And then after you're completed with the run, you level up and you gain extra skills, or you can actually gain extra hit points so you can survive longer throughout the subsequent survival runs. And as you complete different sets of the crystals, you unlock different color palettes for the turtles as well.
Sounds like quite a bit, man. What's like $8?
It's
Is that
$8,
what it
yeah.
was? Yeah, $8 sounds like quite a bit for $8. I'm gonna have to.
It sounds like a
I'm
good
gonna-
time. It sounds like something where if
Hmm.
you got a couple friends together, like you could have a
Oh,
blast
100%.
going through that.
And they still have you can have up to 6 people playing together.
Wow.
And
The
cross
chaos.
playability.
It was
Crossplay,
chaos.
though the crossplay does not transfer over to Switch. For whatever reason, the Switch version
Standalone.
doesn't it's pretty much standalone. It says it has crossplay, but it doesn't crossplay with Steam at the very least.
Well, I got it on PC, Xbox, and Switch. So
I got it on PC and Switch. I had it off the Game Pass, and then I did that event with another community, and they all bought it on the Switch, so I had to buy it on the Switch.
yeah,
Gotcha.
And I was like, why didn't you guys just get it off Game Pass?
Yeah.
I know.
I got
Well,
mine
that's
off
because, dude,
Steam.
that's because that game's awesome to lay on the couch and play, man. That's why. It is. It is.
Once again, having the ability to just play a beat 'em up, on the go wherever, it is
Mhm.
nice.
They
It
really
is.
captured what those games, were
Oh,
back in
yeah.
the day too. They captured it, and not only did they capture it, they made it better.
Oh,
Dude,
yes,
it's the
100%.
best Ninja Turtles beat 'em up by far.
Mhm.
Yeah.
By far.
100%. It's
Turtles in Time was my favorite. Now it's number 2.
Yeah, that's
I-
exactly what happened
yep.
here. Except number 2
100%.
immediately after that one.
I mean, you have different. I mean, for one, you have the special moves, but then you have multiple different special moves. You have your static normal special move. You have your dodge special move, and just having the dodge ability in and of itself adds to the depth of the game completely.
The combo
So you have your
potential
dodge.
too was great. You could just
Oh yeah,
juggle people forever.
Mhm.
It was so much fun.
You have your dodge attack. So if you're dodging and then you go to attack, you usually do like a slide attack. You have your dash attacks. You have your aerials and a bunch of different mixtures, and you still have the ability to throw the enemies directly at the screen, which is always fun.
It's the best.
I remember Streets of Rage 4 came out, and I was like, "This is the best beat 'em up ever." And then like 2 months later, the Shredder's Revenge came out, and I was like, "I take that back. This is the best beat 'em up ever."
Yeah.
It
'Cause
is.
Because I was pumped for Streets of Rage 4. I love the Streets of Rage games, but man,
Mhm.
you're really pressing those nostalgia buttons when you bring out the turtles.
Yep. And the fact that they gave you 3 more characters than what you're normally used to really brought some extra life into the game, by being able to play as Master Chief, April O'Neil, and once you beat the game, you unlock Casey Jones.
Yeah,
And now with the DLC, you have Usagi Yojimbo and Karai. I could totally see them doing more DLCs with releasing other characters throughout the Turtles
yeah.
franchise. There's a bunch of characters that they can pull from.
They could do Super Shredder. They could, yeah. There's tons.
Mondo Gecko,
Mhm.
Leatherhead,
The frogs that are like the
the Punk
turtles.
Frogs.
Yeah, the
Yep.
punk frogs. I can't remember the name of them, but yeah.
I can't
That'd be
remember. I
cool.
can't remember his name, but when he made his own mutant turtle, like the big turtle, what was his name?
Flash.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Flash.
Yep. They could bring him in.
They actually have Slash as one of the bosses during
Yeah,
one of the
he
levels.
was.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was in there. Slash was
Mhm.
in there.
I want to be able to play.
Oh,
I mean, if they continue on with the dimensional shell shock, that could be another special character, kind of like Bebop, Rocksteady, and Shredder.
Yeah.
mhm.
There's a lot of stuff that I could foresee more DLC coming to that game.
Oh yeah,
That's just one of those games that's going to be easy to build upon.
oh 100%. They got the backbone. Now they can just add and just add icing to it.
Yeah. And with the survival mode, like heck, they could
It
even
gives
they
you
could even add like a PvP mode if they wanted to, like a team PvP. That would be fucking fun too.
that would be kind of fun.
Like, dude,
But yeah, the survival mode gives you endless playthrough because every run is different.
yeah.
Every run is different. So that, like I said, it gives you that roguelite where
Yeah,
you
that's
can
why games
unlock.
like Hades and Dead Cell and games like that do so well, is because every run is new. Like
Mhm.
you don't experience the same thing twice.
Mhm.
Nope.
But speaking of DLCs, a little game called Wulong Fallen Dynasty, which was, you know, received good and bad across the board. A lot of people liked it. A lot of people didn't. It kind of went down the, almost Souls style game route, but it was more of a beat 'em up than Souls, but it had Souls components to it. Good game. Uh, it's got a DLC coming out called Conqueror of Jiandong. That's coming out, I think, early next year. Tunable beat Wulong. What do you think? You gonna be playing the DLC?
I think, what did I read? It had three extra bosses,
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
three
something
extra
like that.
bosses, and a few more story lines. I like the game. I'll always finish a game if I start it, unless it's complete
Garbage.
trash.
Yeah.
Yes.
I will finish the game. I have to. I mean, it's been like I started that Symphony of the Night again. I'm not going to stop. I'm going to beat it again.
You'd hate to be in my shoes this week. I've started like 6 games this week.
Oh, dude, what do you think I'm doing right now? I'm still playing Mario and Rabbids Sparks of Hope. I'm playing Castlevania. I'm playing Mortal Kombat 1. I'm playing Starfield. I'm playing Redfall. Fuck. But aside from that, will I be buying?
I never did finish Wulong. I think I made it to the third boss and I just lost interest.
How much was this DLC?
I'm not sure if they announced it yet.
Have they not announced the price yet? It all depends on how much it is. I mean, if it's a reasonable $10 to $15 for a couple more bosses and story missions, yeah, I might do it. It was fun. I enjoyed myself. I'm not going to tell you anything because a lot of people probably haven't played it. It's kind of still new. I'm not going to spoil anything, but it's a more fast-paced Souls-like game. It's
more action oriented.
Yeah, more action. It's kind of like a very hard Devil May Cry.
Yeah.
Like a super hard Devil May Cry. That's what it's like.
Well, I know
But,
it's based off of the Three Kingdoms, which Koei. I mean, they were the ones who made Dynasty Warriors and Samurai Warriors, and then so
Yeah, now that you mentioned the Dynasty and Samurai Wars, it's kind of like a Souls-like version of Dynasty Warriors.
I was gonna make
Kind
that
of what it's like.
that
Kinda what it's
connection.
like.
Is that where it to me it seemed more of like a Souls version of Dynasty Warriors.
Yeah.
And that last boss, spoilers, it's a fucking dragon, and it sucks.
Dude, I thought it was pretty crazy how hard the tutorial boss was. That tutorial boss was one of the hardest tutorial bosses I've ever fought in any video game ever.
Yeah, well, go ahead and finish it. Finish it, buddy.
I ain't gonna go back and finish that.
Yeah, it took me a fucking week.
There ain't no way I'm going back and playing that. If I'm gonna finish anything right now, I'm gonna finish Lies of P, which is a great imitation of a Souls game, if you ask me.
You know what's funny is I think it's nowhere near as good as Wolong. It's not even close to be as good.
Wolong is a different kind of game, though. Lies of P is more closely related to maybe like Bloodborne, I'd say.
But don't get me wrong, I was having fun playing it. Oh yeah, that too. I got to finish it now too.
I just beat another boss on it earlier today. But it has a lot of like that it has that like 1860s like feel to it. The what's that time period called? Fucking can't think of the name of it. But it's got that same feel as Bloodborne did.
Like an industrial part of the earth, like when the world was being industrial, turning industrial.
Oh, the Industrial Revolution.
Yeah, kinda.
But yeah, it has Bloodborne vibes to it, and I like the way you can customize your weapons. Like you take the handle off this weapon and put the blade from this weapon, put them together, and make a new weapon out of it. Like the customization with the weapons and stuff beyond what you could do in any other Souls game. And for a company that has never made a Souls-like game before, I would have to give them props because they did a really good job. Sometimes the combat isn't as fluid as, like it is Bloodborne or Dark Souls. Sometimes it's a little stiff, but for a company who's just, taking something they love and trying to do it themselves, they did and it's based off Pinocchio, which is really cool. It's actually got a cool story to it.
Yeah, I have to admit, I do not like Dark Souls games, guys. It is a known fact. I think they're sluggish, slow, boring piles of shit. But this one is actually pretty fun, and it's kind of like the same style, but it's actually fun because the storyline that I've been through so far has kept me hooked. Which Dark Souls does not whatsoever keep me hooked with the storyline.
Yeah, it's because there really isn't one. To find out the story in like Dark Souls and Bloodborne, like that, you have to literally like look at the item descriptions of everything you pick up and read it, piece everything together, and figure it out yourself. Whereas this one, there's a little bit more dialogue, and they're telling you where to go and why you're going there, and a lot more of it makes sense. But yeah. I've been playing the hell out of that game. That game's fun as hell.
It is.
Yeah, I'd say the styling for it is almost kind of between Edwardian and Victorian.
Victorian.
There you go. I don't know any of those situations. I don't know any of the damn
The word for it was, it's on the tip of my, I don't even think it's Victorian, but the word for it's like on the tip of my tongue. I just can't think of it.
The Baroque era? No.
Look, it's Pinocchio times. Whenever time Pinocchio was in, that's what it is.
It's got that Pinocchio time feel to it, you know?
Yes. That's what it is.
But moving on, Xbox had a lot of leaks go out last week. FTC somehow leaked a whole bunch of stuff. A new console, which is kind of like a mini Xbox Series X. They leaked a new Doom game. They leaked a couple other games. Can't think at the moment. They leaked a handheld. I guess Microsoft is coming out with a handheld. I don't know how they expect to compete with the Switch and the Steam Deck, but you know, apparently they're gonna try to get in that market. So
It's basically going to be a Game Pass machine.
probably,
Like,
yeah.
as long as you can play it, unlike that dumb fucking Sony one's coming out with, as long as you can play it away from your house and hook to a Wi-Fi.
I mean, if you think about it, the Steam Deck is a Game Pass machine.
I mean, it is. You can play Game Pass on Steam Deck. So
Yeah.
why? just like Sony's thing.
Yeah.
Why?
And
Just
Sony-
don't even worry about it.
At least Xbox is, from what we know, is its own handheld device, and it doesn't have to be connected to your actual system.
Yeah, at least that's. But put games for it out only.
Yeah.
If you're going to make it handheld, then like the Steam Deck, it's just a Steam and Game Pass machine. Is what it is.
Yeah.
And even then, you're limited to what games you can put onto the Steam Deck.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, have exclusives for that Xbox handheld.
Yeah, if you put exclusive on it, then it'll be worth buying because you got to have it to play it.
Yeah.
So
That would be one way for it to make sense. Who knows? It could be just like PlayStation's, where it's just, you know, an imitation of what PlayStation's doing.
no,
We didn't really get much info on it. We just got like a picture of it, you know. And we also got a look at the new controller that they are planning on releasing next year. The best controller in the world. Which, honestly, I did a little video about it on my YouTube channel earlier this week. Honestly, it doesn't have any other features that most of these other controllers don't already have. The only thing it has is it can connect straight to the cloud. You don't have to connect to your phone or to a TV. You can connect it straight to the cloud, which will cut down on latency and delay input if you're playing cloud gaming. I don't know who's using an Xbox controller to play cloud gaming when you could just play your Xbox, but
that's if you're playing on your cell phone, man. If you're sitting at an airport, you got your cell phone set up, you bring your controller out, and you're sitting there cloud gaming from the Xbox app.
It's true.
That's what it's for.
Yeah, I can see that.
That's really the only feature it has that I noticed about it that was something no other controller has. Everything else is, like everything else, it's already been done. It's just, I feel like they did a lot of catching up to the other controllers with this controller, and then they added the cloud gaming feature, which, is a big plus. Plus, it's like all the other Xbox controllers. It's easy to take apart, put back together, and customize. It's got that feature, which you don't get with like PS5 controllers or Joy-Con. Like, if you're going to take apart a Joy-Con or a PS5 controller to customize it, change something out, chances are, if you don't know what you're doing, you're probably going to need a YouTube video or take it to Cliff.
All right. So replacing the joystick in a regular Joy-Con is not that bad.
No, it really isn't.
Replacing a joystick in a Switch Lite.
Yeah, because that's all one piece.
That's all I gotta say about that.
Now, completely reshelling a Joy-Con is kind of intense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Taking
I've watched some
the
videos of
entirety
that.
of the guts to put it into another one. I've done it. I've actually taken a pair of Joy-Cons and put them into a shell to where my Joy-Cons actually look like Super Nintendo controllers.
Oh, nice.
Sick.
But yeah, if you're not careful, there's so many ribbon cables
Mm-hmm.
that you can easily tear. So if you do not know what you're doing, you might want to go find a professional.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Xbox has always made it easy to customize their controllers. Like their face plates pop right off. Their fucking
Mhm.
their thumbsticks you can easily, like even the D-pad, like that pops off. You can just put a different one on if you want.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Add extenders to them or whatever. Like they make it really easy to customize their controllers. Which I've never taken apart a PS5 controller. I don't know if it's easy, but I have taken apart PS4 controllers. And that touchpad makes it a son of a bitch because it, like you said,
Mhm.
it's got the ribbon and all that.
The ribbon cable. The
Yeah.
ribbon cable is what kills you.
It makes
And
it
then
so much. Like I was trying to replace my R2 button. My right trigger was fucked up. I had another
Yeah.
PS4 controller that broke, didn't work.
Mhm.
So I was just gonna take the right trigger out of it, put it in one that works, and
Yeah.
I started fucking with it. Ribbon cable got in the way, and fucking trying to get the faceplate back on with the R2 sticking on the little pad that it's supposed to be on and staying in
Yep.
place when you lock in the fucking pain in the ass.
hmm
Pain in the ass. I got it,
They
but
are.
it took me like an hour or two fucking with it just to get that one trigger in.
Yeah, and I've broke this thing apart probably 6 times now, replacing bumpers, and it's no problem.
Yeah, they
This
make it easy.
thing has been disassembled so many times. 7
Wow.
years old.
Not bad.
Yeah.
It's I'm trying to remember if they have the Hall Effect thumbsticks for the Xbox controllers or for the
The
PlayStation.
new one, that new one does.
The new
The
one,
one that's
okay,
coming out,
okay, that right there is definitely a good thing.
yeah.
I mean, most of the newer consoles all suffered from some sort of analog stick drift. The Switch
Yeah.
was the absolute worst, the whole Joy-Con drift, and it was only until recently that they developed they actually have Hall Effect thumbsticks for the Switch now. You can actually get them and put them into your own uh, Joy Cons.
Do you know what those were in back in the day? The Dreamcast controllers.
I can
Really?
see that.
They were in Dreamcast controllers. There's Dreamcast joysticks will never fucking break. Never.
Well,
They
there's no
are,
physical connection. It's all magnets.
yeah. It's a beautiful fucking. That's what the Dreamcast controllers are fucking best, man. You cannot break those things. They're
They were
indestructible.
Yeah,
They were
And
meaty boys too. They were thick.
they were.
Mhm. But that's what they had those back then. So I don't understand why all these other companies didn't have them after the Dreamcast. If they can have it in the Dreamcast controller, every console after that should have had them in there. This is
I think the reason why they didn't is because the Dreamcast was the last console of Sega, and unfortunately, the Dreamcast was ahead of its time when it came out. I mean, that
yeah,
thing
it
was a
was.
powerhouse. It was the only console that had legitimate PC parts in the
Mm-hmm.
console itself,
Yeah.
like off the shelf PC parts in the console.
Mm-hmm.
They
And
went
then
all
it ran
out.
off Microsoft. It ran off Microsoft programming.
It
It's hilarious.
made it easy for pirates.
Mm-hmm. It did.
Yeah,
That's a story for another day.
and we got a new Doom game announced, so that's kind of cool.
New games are always fun to play.
Doom.
They leaked the new Doom game. I forget what it's called, but I should have had this information ready. But yeah, I'm hoping they take it like in the same direction they went with Doom Eternal. Maybe I don't know. I like the platforming in Doom Eternal, but I felt like there was a little too much of it at times. But I did
I
like
can see that.
the combat was really fun in Eternal. I'd like them to capitalize on that. Maybe add some new stuff, different kinds of guns, new ways to kill, weapons. But yeah, I'm excited for a new Doom game, and none of
It
this
said it's
is
going to be Doom Year Zero. It's going to be a prequel.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's
That's
gonna
what
be
they're
cool.
saying it's going to
be. That's not confirmed,
No.
but that's what everybody thinks it is. It's gonna be called Doom Zero, and it's gonna be a prequel.
I can see that. I mean, they with Doom Eternal, they got really into the lore of basically Doomslayer, uh, where it's like, oh well, the alien race or whatever, they found him, and then they basically pulled him out, and basically he's just been going back and forth and just making endless cycles of fighting the forces of hell. It seems like.
Pretty much, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Doom Eternal was fun. Another game I didn't finish. I got really far into it. I was probably like 75% of the way through that game when I stopped playing it.
I haven't played it yet. It's the only Doom game I've never beat, and I need to get into it.
Oh, it's fun as fuck. It is fun. The combat is addictive. It's the platforming that'll drive you crazy.
Well, I'll just put it on my backlog from hell.
The ever-growing backlog.
And the boss battles are pretty fun too. A lot of cool boss battles in Doom Eternal. But that's pretty much it. Xbox had their big leaks, and it was actually leaked by the FTC, which is the craziest part. Microsoft not very happy about it. But I think they've formally came out and announced the new console, didn't they? After the leaks.
Are you talking about the mini? The discless Series X? It's going to be a discless Series X mini. Yeah.
Yeah, I think they actually came out and formally announced that.
I think it looks cool, man. It's like a little circle.
Yeah.
It's cool looking, man.
It looks like one of those little air purifiers.
Yeah.
But other than that, I don't have any other real big news. We had the Tokyo Game Show and all these games. There's another cool horror game that was announced during the Tokyo Game Show called Hotel Barcelona or Barcelona Hotel, and it's a horror roguelike. It's a 2D platformer horror roguelike game, so that'll be interesting. I watched a trailer of it. Looks really good. Looks really good. Like I'm big on roguelike games. Like it gives me like those Dead Cell vibes, but with like a horror aspect to it.
Okay.
And maybe not as fast as Dead Cells. I mean, you're not a ninja in this game, but you're in a giant. It's the hotel it's in, Hotel Barcelona. It's actually designed after. They took inspiration from like an actual big hotel in the real world. I forget what it was called. I'd have to look it up, but it looks really good. Looks really good. Doesn't come out for a while though.
Yeah, figures.
But dude, look at all the games that came out this year anyway. I mean, it's like an overload.
I mean, a lot of the games that were in this presentation aren't coming out till early next year.
Yeah.
Like even the Wulong DLC, that's not till next year. But I guess we can get right into the game deals of the week. Let's do the game deals of the week. Who wants to go first?
All right.
How about it, Grease?
I'll start off. All right, so I'm touching into our retro roots, and I'm bringing you my game deal of the week. It'll be Mega Man X Legacy Collection on Steam. Currently, right now, is on sale for 60%. Normally $19.99, on sale for $7.99. You get to play Mega Man X, X2, X3, X4, and they give you a brand new X Challenge mode, which allows you to take on 2 bosses at the same time.
That's some good stuff right there, man. That's gaming at its finest. Right there.
I love
For
Mega
$8.
Man. Love me some Mega Man.
And the music is amazing for it. That's always a big seller for me.
Mega Man music.
The original Mega Man X, I would recognize that music.
100%. Not to mention all of the fun Easter eggs that you could do with each of the X games, X1, 2, and 3. You could find and get different Street Fighter moves for Mega Man.
Yeah, Hadouken
with each one. The Hadouken, the Dragon Punch, And then though in X3, the super overpowered thing was actually getting Zero's sword,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
where you could just one shot Sigma at the end.
All right, guys. My game deal of the week is one hell of a deal because it's free.
Ooh, can't be free.
Yeah, it's the best deal you can get. It's on the Epic Games Store, guys. If you're tired of Diablo 4, if you've run out of stuff to do on Diablo 4, and you're just sick of the game, you want something better. You want something that's going to entertain you and challenge you and push you to your ARPG limits. This game has 6 classes. All of them are, from what I can tell, are pretty fun. There's multiple builds. The skill tree in this game is huge. I'm talking about Path of Exile. This game is free on the Epic Games Store. It is your classic ARPG, kind of like Diablo 4, but way more complex. You'll be, instead of you unlocking skills through the skill tree, you'll just be getting passive skills through your skill tree, and you'll be using gems inserted into your gear to unlock your skills. Totally different. And then you'll use modifying gems to modify those skills instead of, picking more skills off the skill tree. Different. It's a little different. The skill tree is huge, but don't let it overwhelm you. It's all passive skill. So it's like, plus 10 dexterity, plus 8% movement speed, plus 5% projectile damage, stuff like that. So like the skill tree is, it operates a little bit different. It's a different game than Diablo. It's free. It was made by an indie developer. You can't beat free. And to be honest, this game outclasses Diablo 4. And I've only been playing it for maybe 5 or 6 hours now. And I'm already in love with it. I definitely recommend it. If you're a fan of ARPGs and Diablo 4 just ain't doing it for you, I would suggest going back to Diablo 2 or picking up PoE. Epic Game Store, guys. PoE. Path of Exile. Go get it.
I ain't never played it. I might have to now. It's free.
It's free.
I like free. There's
Okay,
nothing
yeah.
better than free, guys.
It's the
Mine's not
best.
free, guys. My game deal of the week is not free. It's absolutely not free. But go ahead and fire your PlayStation Store up. And
That's weird hearing that from you.
look, man, I've been playing PlayStation like literally. That's all I've been playing here lately. But
Not a PlayStation kick.
I'm not biased, man. I'm not biased. I'll play anything. I own everything. Get off of it. But my game deal of the week, guys, is a beloved franchise of mine that's probably definitely top 2. Sonic Frontiers is half off. $30. PlayStation Store, guys. If you want a totally different Sonic game than you've ever played in your life, this is it. If you like Breath of the Wild, if you like any open world, cartoonish RPG kind of game, Sonic Frontiers is your game. This game is going to challenge you if you put it on hard mode. Oh, God. Normal mode is, it's hard in later stages, but definitely hard mode is extremely hard. But it's got the same thing. You're going to level Sonic speed up. You're going to level everything up in him. Like, there is no just like Sonic does this. You have to spend time and gathering stuff and beating stages and doing side quests to level Sonic up throughout this game. And you're going to need to, because the more you level him up, the boss fights get easier. And you bring a non-leveled Sonic to one of these Titan battles, and you're going to die immediately. So you're going to spend the time. You're going to. It's just all. I mean, yeah. It's. I put like 80 hours into it.
I watched you play probably 50 of them.
Yeah. And
the supersonic parts are so good.
The supersonic parts are so good. The soundtrack to this game is phenomenal. The music they put that goes along with the Titan battles, it's probably the best in gaming. I'm not even gonna lie. They're heavy metal tracks. They go perfect with the battle. Oh, I just want to play it again. I just want to go play it again right now, just to listen to the music while I'm battling, because it fits perfectly, and you get so immersed into those battles because of the music, and it's just. And then unlocking the moves, the special moves and stuff. Oh man, the special moves in this game are ridiculous.
Yeah, I think that one's definitely worth picking up.
Yeah, for $30, it's a no-brainer.
Yeah,
Buy
though
it.
your time is limited on that. I think the
Sale
Good
ends
turn up.
Thursday, I think.
ends
Thursday.
Thursday. Yeah, and I think that's when they have the most recent update for it as well.
Yeah, you're getting
Or they-
free bonus stages. They've already done like 3 or 4 updates where they've like added challenge mode for the side quest. So the side quests are like 2D Mario stages. They're like old school.
Yeah.
And you gotta collect stuff. You gotta beat it a certain amount of time. It's phenomenal. Man, the game is so good. It's so good.
Now, seeing on the update, you can actually be played as Tails, Knuckles, and Amy, and rumors of a new game plus as well.
New game plus.
I'll be going back into it, guys. It's gonna be another 80 hours. You know what I mean? It is what it.
I'll be sitting here in VC watching you play.
Pretty much. Pretty much.
But I think it's been a crazy week in gaming. A lot of stuff. We had the Tokyo Game Show. We got, year's not over yet. There's still more to come. Guys, next week, we're either going to do a play it or throw it away, which if you guys have a console, let us know down in the comments. Or we could do a tier list. If you have a tier list of a certain game or even a console tier list, anything you can think of, it's on the table.
Cool.
Throw it down in the comments. Let us know. And we'll be doing that next week. We'll either be doing a play it or throw it away or a tier list. So let us know. Hopefully next week we'll have our co-host Made on Rec back with us. Unfortunately, he's experienced some technical difficulties with his power and internet this weekend. We look forward to having him back next week. But that's going to be it for this week, guys. That's it for the Gamestate podcast. Peace out.
Stay awesome, guys.
Have a good night, guys.
Peace.